So, have you ever wondered what would happen if Lois Lane teamed up with the Punisher to take on a dream demon? Well, then your prayers have been answered in this movie. Kinda. So this one is directed by Mike Flanagan, who is making a bit of a name for himself in the horror community. He directed the recent Hush, he did Oculus, and is lined up to do the remake of Halloween. And here he directs quite a good cast actually: Kate Bosworth, Annabeth Gish, Jacob Tremblay as the little kid, and of course Thomas Jane, the Punisher. And this movie is Before I Wake, which is also known as SOMNIA. Now, I had seen the trailer for this film some time ago, but I kind of forgot about it, and so I watched it without really remembering the trailer until we got to a certain part. And I have to say, the main strength of this film is, I would say, it's fairly original in its kind of in its premise. Basically, it follows this kind of couple who have recently lost their son. And this is played by Bosworth and Thomas Jane. And they basically foster this young boy who seems to have been passed from pillar to post. And this is because this boy holds some kind of power, really, that we never really explained, but there you go. And essentially, when he sleeps, his dreams kind of manifest and become realistic, tangible objects. And when he dreams, it's beautiful. It could be butterflies, which it mainly is, to be honest with you. But basically, anything he kind of sees, like a few remnants of this couple's past, for example, will manifest and be kind of interactive. But at the same time, of course, if he has a nightmare, then the nightmares come. So that's pretty much your movie. I won't go too much more into the plot like that. I have to say, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought this was a well-made, well-put-together film. And I think, it's the strength of it really comes from the somewhat original idea. Obviously, I know that we've had kind of dream-based, horror films before, but you don't see too many of them. So it's kind of nice to see something that is pretty original, at least. And I have to say, I did like some of the visuals here. I thought, some of the effects on work here was pretty good, and it's quite extravagant and it kind of makes sense as well. So when you see certain kind of like bad guy characters, so we say, and the explanation of them I thought was very good as well. I want to talk a little bit about the performances. I think Jason Tremblay as the young boy was extremely cute and very kind of adorable, and I really liked Thomas Jane in this movie as well. I thought he did a fantastic job as the father, though I don't know about his haircut in the movie, which might sound like a small thing, but it was very distracting. The one I wasn't so keen on was Kate Bosworth, who she was kind of, I guess, the central character here to a certain degree, as the kind of movie's more or less through her eyes. And I have to say, she's kind of dead-eyed in this film. She's not really a particularly likeable or compelling lead character. So I felt it was maybe a bit of a misstep to maybe focus on her character as the kind of the central protagonist, especially when I feel she does some fairly reprehensible things sort of early on in the movie. The other main issue I have with this film is the ending. I feel the ending here, they've kind of thrown the kitchen sink in a little bit and kind of made it this kind of very kind of elaborate sort of set piece. And I found myself, it was from the kind of the spookiness that happened throughout the movie, it kind of went a little bit OTT towards the end, and kind of, even though I liked some aspects of the origin of where certain things came from, I thought that was good, but the resolution to me seemed to come a little bit too quickly. We kind of go into a little bit of a investigating portion of the movie, and it just seemed to kind of, that bit of it happened a little bit too quickly. Things were found out with relative ease, when I felt it could have been sort of maybe investigated throughout the whole movie, and then the resolution I felt was a little bit too kind of a little bit too quick and easy as well, to be honest with you. But for the most part, I thought this was a fantastically directed film. It was visually interesting. I thought for the most part the characters are interesting. It's characters that you can kind of get behind, and you kind of feel their emotional attachment to things. I thought that was very, very well done, and obviously I feel that Jason Tremblay as well was a fantastic child actor here. And there are some fantastic horror imagery as well. There's some pretty decent sequences. Some of them are a little CGI, but well, it is what it is, to be honest with you. Overall, I thought this was a good film, maybe let down by a couple of areas, that being maybe the ending of this film, and I feel Kate Bosworth as well was not fantastic, as like she was in Superman Returns, but there you go. Anyway, I want to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.